So, Bernie, we're talking a lot about expanding forward and backward.
Yes.
And then you're kind of expanding
Sideways and backwards.
otherward. How does that go? What do you do to work in Halo, but then not?
Well, I would say that Red versus Blue is probably the part of the. It is the Halo-inspired fiction that does not have meaning and resonance. Were those, Frank, were those the words, meaning and resonance that you used?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm totally gonna look those words up later, see what they mean. But it's fun. It's around, we're now in our 9th season of Red versus Blue, and around season 6 was when we went from hanging around in a mud puddle of a base, just standing around talking. That's all they ever do is stand around and talk. And we thought we would do something a little more in tune with the Halo universe, not to necessarily take part in the Halo universe, but create something that could possibly fit within the rules of the Halo universe. Essentially, the spirit of it is, if you took a very, very wrong turn, you would end up and see the Red versus Blue guys, which actually ended up happening in Halo 3. If you went the direction you weren't supposed to go, you found them at a dead end of a hallway yelling at each other. So that's, narratively, that's what we achieve, we try to achieve is we try to be literature's dead end hallway, essentially, is what we aim for. And but it's fun. It's fun to take, as a fan, it is fun to take all the pieces of the universe and say, okay, what can we make from this that's fun and goofy and lolsy for the internet?
So, Barry, is Caboose canon?
I was wondering that, if we can make Caboose eligible for official Halo canon.
We'll have a summit and discuss. Yeah.
Everybody who agrees, say con. Were you guys here for the previous panel? Just say caboose if you want it.
It sounds a lot like a sad sound.
Yeah.
It's anticlimactic, sorry.
Yeah.
That was awesome, you guys. I can't believe I had to follow those guys. Kevin Smith, no problem. So,
Alison only needs one seat to go to space.
I didn't hear what he said, so we're moving on. And speaking of something completely different, Kevin Grace has something to talk about, but first, we're going to show you. So if you could roll. Up there,
Maybe.
with the video.
But this ring is not just a weapon. It is my home. And your presence here is not coincident. You were brought here to serve a purpose. But first, you will not see the truth. Learn all that took place in my neighbor's essence. Are you ready, Claire? This is how my story begins.
For those of you that have played through the previous Halo games, starting in Halo 3, we had these things called the terminals that were hidden in little out-of-the-way spots in the game that kind of gave a little bit of extra story about the universe, about the characters, maybe a little bit about actually kind of where you were in the game. And we did that in 3, and we did it in ODST, and we had the data pads in Reach. And so then when it came around time to start working on Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, we thought that maybe it'd be a nice opportunity to add a little something that didn't affect the gameplay, didn't affect the classic and what we all know and love, but just kind of added a little extra dimension to where you are and who you're hanging out with. And the character that we thought would really best sum up, especially that first game, obviously, is Guilty Spark, who we saw just a taste of there. So we have had a lot of fun kind of up in the game on how those terminals are going to be presented within Combat Evolved Anniversary, and what you saw there was the work of some really creative guys and some really awesome Halo fans by the name of the Sequence Group, friends of ours from a land up north who are here with us today. So that's just a little bit of a taste of some new things that you'll be learning about the Halo and about Guilty Spark as you play through Combat Evolved Anniversary.
So Halo takes place on human and Forerunner and Covenant environments. How can you have a terminal in each of those levels, Kevin?
That is tricksy, Frank. That's an excellent question. We've actually divided up the various terminals and kind of the pieces of the story when the story is told from whose perspective. Like some of the story is from now, some of the story is from a very long time ago. Some of the story is from Guilty Spark, and some of the story is from some other people that you encounter in the game or things you encounter in the game. So we've got them all fit into their levels in appropriate fashion, and yeah, they'll be waiting for you.
Speaking of waiting for you, we have kind of a cool thing right now. So if you could hit it for a second, hitting it.
So coming up to join us right now is a very fine fellow by the name of Dan Ayoub. He is the executive producer on Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. And if it's all right with y'all, we're going to take a little tour of a place called Silent Cartographer.
Hey guys, thanks everyone for coming, and just may I say this is the best looking crowd I've seen in a long time at Comic-Con. So we're really excited to be able to show you this. Just before we get started, a couple of things. You guys are going to be the first non-press crowd to see what I'm about to show you guys. We're going to show you guys one of the campaign levels from Halo Anniversary. So quickly, I mean, how many people remember the first time they played Halo 1, right? Wasn't it fucking awesome? And you know, this is what this is all about. This game is for you guys. We wanted to give this back to the fans because this is really the game that launched a generation of console shooters. And this is for you guys. So we're going to jump in quickly. You know, a couple of things. This build, the fun part, the build you're about to see is about 2 months old. It's the most stable, so this is the one we're going to show you guys. But the cool thing is, if you've seen the videos, you've seen any of this stuff online, the game's much more advanced than what you're going to see today. So Dennis Ries, our producer, is driving from the shadows, and I'm going to try and keep up with him as he's going. So, first thing you're going to notice, again, we're going to show you Silent Cartographer. Graphical upgrade, right? I mean, this is a current day shooter. We got to make it look like it. So, a lot of time we've been spending bringing this up to a modern day look. The game just looks really spectacular. And again, if you've seen the videos, you're going to have already noticed there's been a few changes based on, in fact, a lot on community feedback to this point. But game looks awesome. The other thing is audio. Visuals and audios were the things we really wanted to bring up to modern day. So weapon effects, sound effects, orchestral. We worked with Skywalker Sound on a lot of the music to bring this up. So the game looks and sounds absolutely spectacular. But the big question, how does it play, right? I mean, that's the one we get all the time. This is really an iconic game. This launched a generation of shooters. I mean, if you're old like me, you grew up on PC shooters, and I said, you know, you're never going to give me a game on console that I'm going to want to play, and this is the game that changed it for me. So the core development razor for us was this game needs to play exactly the same as it did initially. How did we do that? We're actually doing some pretty cool technical tricks. We're running portions of the old code and new code simultaneously. So in effect, you've got the original code that's driving the AI, how the game feels, how the things react. And on top of that, we've actually layered a new graphics engine, so that's enabling us to get the best of both worlds. You've got a game that looks and sounds like a current day shooter, but it feels exactly the same as it did, because, you know, this is really a gift to the fans, right? That's what this thing's all about. It's the 10th anniversary of the franchise, and we wanted to give this game back to the community. And it's about, you know, that's why I asked the question at the beginning. It's about reliving the experience of when you played Halo 1 that first time, and that's what this game is all about. And we've got a few tools in our toolbox to help do that. I mean, Des is just going to mop up here. Go on, Des. There you go. So, really the thing is, again, gift to the fans. How are we doing that? We've got a few ways. One of the ones I'm most excited about is something called Classic Mode. You may have heard about it. What it is, at the touch of a button, and we got a bit of lag because this is an older build, you can go from the current version, wham, to old. Any point in the game. So, this is really a magical feat, and you can come back, most importantly. So this is really a magical feature for Halo fans, because at any point in the campaign, you just hit that button, and you're going to go back and see exactly how the game looked at that spot 10 years ago. It's a lot of fun. I also like to say it's like 10 years of gaming evolution at the touch of a button, because you can really see how far technology has come. And it's just a fantastic feature. Little insider scoop for you guys. This feature started as a menu item. We're going to let you choose when you started, do I want to play in new, do I want to play in classic? We just lost our minds so much that the dev team said, yeah, we've just got to be able to do this at any point. And it's fun, you can come out to a spot like this in the water, you see the reflections, and you say, hey, what did this look like 10 years ago? And, you just whack that button, and you can see, yeah, things have, really come a long way. But, it's funny. This was kind of a pet feature for the team. Oh, awesome, yeah. So, some of the other benefits, you can see the splashes, the sunlight. As Dennis comes onto the beach, you can see the, the dust effects. It's really a tremendous amount of fun. Kevin talked a little bit about the terminals. That's something we're really excited about. Visually, we can tell a much more compelling, emotional story. So we're very, very excited about that. Some other cool features, co-op over live. You're going to be able to, to play this with your friends, get on there and play through the campaign together. We've talked a little bit about multiplayer, but we're going to get you guys down at Halo Fest, hopefully in Seattle, to get a closer look at all of that stuff. But, we just really wanted to give you guys a sneak peek, and I do want to leave you guys with one last thing, because, I say this is about the original experience. What would that be without the Magnum? Yeah! So here it is. The Magnum is back, making its triumphant return. Just so much fun to just mow through people with this thing. And it is exactly as much fun as you remember it being. So you're going to be able to take the Magnum and go back and mow through the game. So this is really the sneak peek we wanted to give you guys, because, the Halo fans are the coolest, and it was really important that we give you guys a sneak peek. So, hey, thanks very much.
I just hugged him because it would take way too long for all of you guys to do it. Dennis, are you coming on up?
Making his way up.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Dennis is the producer. And he is
Did
coming
anyone
out
see
there.
Dennis stick that elite at the last second there? It was classy. Yes, Dennis, redeemed.
Yeah, because for the press, mostly he kind of stuck himself, I believe, a lot.
Yeah, we don't tell that story anymore.
We hardly ever tell that story, yeah.